Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about the backup character issue in Dungeons & Dragons. I'm going to go deeper on this subject, what I want to talk about today is explaining why this is so important, and also explaining that I understand why people are so upset with this subject and are, coming in the comments and saying, Scott, you got to get off this subject. You got to drop it, right? And why I'm not. So let's get into it. So I have a way of explaining to you why this subject is so important. So one, I want to thank you for your patience. I know I'm going very long on this subject. I'm really digging in on this, and no question, I really am. I'm digging in on this, right? Like, I get it. I am digging in. No two ways, right? And the reason why, so why am I digging in on this issue? So first of all, what is my supposition? Let me give it to you real quick. I say that a backup character is the strongest evidence that if you ever use a backup character, if you ever request a backup character, if you're a dungeon master and you ever request a single player to have a backup character, you are a bad dungeon master. If you are a player and you ever make a single backup character, you are a bad dragon master. You don't know how to play Dungeons & Dragons. You're doing Dungeons & Dragons wrong. The reason why I'm getting into this is it's the 50th celebration, right? But for me, and I'm always, yeah, I'm always ahead of you. That's why you come to my channel. I don't come to yours, right? I'm going to say it. I know more about Dungeons & Dragons than you. I know more, done. I'm just, if I didn't know more about Dungeons & Dragons, I would not have this channel, right? Like if you could do your table better and the right way without me, I wouldn't say another word, but you can't. Right, that's why I'm here, right? Okay, all right. So let's keep going here. All right. So the issue is, and the reason why is it's a paper shield used to protect you as a player or you as a dungeon master. When I say dragon master, I mean Dungeons & Dragons player. It's a paper shield that you use as a dragon master, or that you use as a dungeon master, to make sure that no one at your table ever actually experiences a player character death the way they should. So that you're protected from woe, sorrow, mourning. And it is the biggest problem in Dungeons & Dragons right now, right? And here's the other one. It's something we clearly got wrong for 50 years. And now it's time to do right. And also, I'm also doubling down. I'm done. I'm done with all of this. No wrong way to play D&D. All play styles are equally valuable. Your table's a special snowflake, and anything at my table doesn't fit yours. I'm done with all of that. You can leave that in the last 50 years. I'm all about the future of I'm all about the next 50 years of Dungeons & Dragons. The future 50, not the past 50. The past 50, we can leave 95% of it behind, right? Let's only take the natural 20 forward, right? And this we need to leave behind. No table should ever have another backup character show up on it, ever. All right, let's get into it. Okay, now I get it. You're like, whoa, Scott, man, I really don't like hearing this. And a lot of people coming in the comments and be like, I do not like this, Scott, right? Here's the issue, okay? It's hard to explain why I feel so strongly about this, because my opinion is so extreme, right, that it makes people uncomfortable. I get that, but it doesn't mean I'm wrong, and I'm gonna present you evidence. My evidence is Terry Crews. So I was listening to Neil Brennan's podcast. Neil Brennan is the writer for Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is the most talented brick wall and a microphone stand-up comedian in the world. I actually think his role as a comedian is a disguise. He's actually a philosopher king. The guy is brilliant. I think he's one of the smartest people in America today. And because that means he's one of the smartest people in the world. But let's keep it at smartest people in America, because that's the part that matters. Yeah, I think it's more important to be the smartest person in America than the smartest person in the world. I think I'd take the first before the latter. All right, so basically, so Neil Brennan's brilliant. He's quite literally a genius, okay? So he said something really incredible, right? And what did he say? Well, so he's interviewing Terry Crews. And Neil Brennan's brilliant in all these interviews, right? But he actually interviews Terry Crews, right? So Terry Crews comes in, and Terry Crews has had a huge career. He's been in The Expendables. He's been in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, huge, blew up. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, there's a good chance it's going to be like a new Seinfeld or Big Bang Theory. Like, it's going to be watched for years, decades, right? Massive success in syndication. It's extremely. And Terry Crews was on Everyone Hates Chris. He's been he's been in a dozen movies, a dozen shows. Massively successful career. Okay, get this. Terry Crews, before he became a famous television and movie star, okay, was in the NFL, the National Football League, for 5 years. So he's talking to Neil Brennan, right? And he goes, Neil, I had to get out of the NFL. You know, I just had to be a movie star and an actor. I had to get out of the NFL, Neil. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Neil? I had to get out of there, right? And I'm like, what? What? Right? Like, so this is what I'm saying. Terry Crews had a future so bright, right, that the situation he had to escape was a lifelong dream that literally millions of Americans could never achieve. The situation he had to escape was what others couldn't even achieve. That's what I'm talking about for Dungeons and Dragons. I'm the Terry Crews of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm calling all Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Masters and Dragon Masters to be the Terry Crewses of Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, I know you had fun for 50 years and you think that's good. It's junk. It's worthless. It's nothing. That's what Terry Crews was saying. He counted his career in the NFL as less than nothing. He's like, I have to escape this. Your dream is what I have to escape, right? And it is outlandish. It is an outlandish dream, right? That shines like a beacon. And he was right. For him, right, the NFL was nothing. He was drawn to bigger and better, right? He had a purpose that was more and that was more powerful, right? That's what I'm telling you. Fun is an anchor that makes you less. Terry Crews, the NFL player, was nothing, right? Terry Crews, the actor and movie star, is something. It's something of significance, and that's what I'm saying. Right now, your Dungeons and Dragons game is nothing. It must be escaped. You don't have anything of value. People look at it and say that's valuable, but Terry Crews knew the truth of it. He's like, this is not enough for me. I deserve more. I can do more. And he literally said it. He said, I wanted real power, right? Literally said he did not feel powerful as an NFL player, but he did feel powerful as an actor and a movie star. He's 100% right. Actors and movie celebrities, you know, actual B-tier, like, TV actor is worth more than Tom Brady. Like, because the only people who really know Tom Brady are people who care about football. And if you don't care about football, you don't care about Tom Brady, right? Whereas an actor can go anywhere they want. They can make any show they want. They can bring narrative to life. They're more powerful. They're more valuable, right? The value of an NFL player is extremely limited and is less than a B-tier rank television star, right? Terry Crews knew this, and he is an A-list star at this point. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you are willing to jettison the nonsense of backup characters, bad play, bad dungeon mastering, then you can get what you deserve. You can play the Dungeons and Dragons that awaits, not the Dungeons and Dragons that is worthless, nothing. The way NFL was worth nothing to Terry Crews. Now, this does bring up an issue, right? Terry Crews knew he was worthy of more. I have to process this. Right now, I think everybody can beat Terry Crews. I really don't think there's anything special about Terry Crews, especially here I'll say this. Everyone in the Dungeons and Dragons community is Terry Crews because we're all charismatic, confident, intelligent. The starting ante to participate in Dungeons and Dragons is 750 pages of reading. There's no casuals here, right? There's no casuals at the D&D table, right? Like this, it takes people who are charismatic, confident, intelligent. And if you don't have those three things, you don't even sit. Because, I'm going to publicly speak for 4 hours in front of 4 other people. I can't do that. No, you can't, right? So that's my point. We're all the Terry Crewses, right? And we all deserve more. You too. I know you think that it's important that you preserve the fun game. You're like, oh, the NFL is good. No, it sucks. Like Terry Crews is right. I want more. I'm not going to settle for an NFL career, right? And that's my point. Don't get told that fun is enough. Don't get told that fun is enough. There's this future sitting over here for the taking. It's really important, right? And it's exciting and it's huge, right? And it is outlandish. I get why people are so upset with this, right? Because they're clutching to the fun, right? And they're like, oh, I'm gonna sit there and I might cry in front of people. Yes, to process and understand death. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be embarrassing. It's going to be inconvenient, right? And I know you want to make 20 characters so you never have to slow down. You need to slow down. You need to sit Shiva on this player character. If you're going to understand death, you have to sit with it, right? And this is where D&D can take us. And this is just one step on the staircase. And that's why I keep going big on this is I ain't messing around no more. We're in the second 50, right? There's no more time. Let's jettison the fuel pods. Backup characters are fuel pods that need to drop back to Earth, right? Let's go, right? As Deadpool and Wolverine are apt to say, right? We can get there. And so I definitely understand why everybody's like, oh, Scott, you got to shut up on this one. You can't keep saying that backup characters are bad. They're bad. They're used by bad dungeon masters and bad dragon masters. And I think people are upset because they think they know I'm right. Like they know that a backup character is nothing but a paper shield to protect themselves from what Dungeons and Dragons can actually accomplish. And they don't want to be in an accomplishing space. They want to be in a let's do nothing space. Let's never learn, grow, change, transform. That's right where we are. Terry Crews was like, no, I can't settle for being on the Los Angeles Rams. I can't settle for being on the Philadelphia Eagles. I can't settle, right, for being on 3 other NFL teams, right? I can't be held to the suck of being an NFL player. That's what I'm talking about, right? When you're like, the NFL is not enough, there's more. And that's the issue. We have to be willing to give up what many people can't even achieve to get to this next stage. And it is frustrating because sometimes I can see it so clearly, but it's so hard for anybody else to see it. But I'm telling you, man, we have been on the edge of the oasis looking in. It's time to go in, but it's going to be a hard journey. It was Terry Crews talked about it. It was outrageously difficult for him to do that, right? Like outrageously difficult for him to give up to say I have to escape what millions of others can't even achieve. That's the process. We have to Terry Crews Dungeons and Dragons. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.